So our canning question today is regarding the lids and the screw bands and how do you know how tight to put it on your jar before you process. So my name is Sharon Peterson and I'm with simplycanning.com, where you can find home canning, food tutorials, tips, online canning classes. Come and join me there and I will help you get your pantry filled. Today's canning chat is a question that I've seen quite often. It is regarding how tight is too tight or how tight is too loose to put the screw bands on your jars. Now this is before you process. What I have here is a jar of pickled peppers and it's already been processed, but I'm gonna use it to demonstrate getting that screw band on the jar. So the whole goal is you want that lid to be on your jar securely in the canner, but not cranked. You don't wanna crank it down so tight that the lid cannot vent. You need, as the jar is heating up in the canner, it's gonna vent out underneath that lid, and then as it cools, it's gonna shrink, and that's what sucks the lid down and causes the seal. So that jar needs to be snug, but not overly snug. So what I like to do is I like to set my jar on the counter, put one finger in the middle of the jar, use the other hand to put the screw band on, and then when the jar starts turning on the counter like that, that's when you know that it's ready to go and the lid is just about right. So when you take that jar out of the canner after you process, don't be surprised if that lid is really loose. I mean, it might even just be like barely setting on there. What's happened is the seal has gotten sucked down tight, and so it just made that lid loosen up. That's totally normal. Don't tighten the lid up because you may end up jarring the seal loose before it has totally cooled and sucked down tight. So take the jar out of the canner, set it on the counter, let it cool. Do not tighten the bands, just leave them alone. If you should have a lid buckle, now what I have seen, and this has only happened to me like once, the lid, like along the edge here, you'll see it'll actually crinkle up and it just buckles. Usually that's a sign that you've tightened your lid down too tight. There was no flex in there for that lid to be able to vent during processing. So that's a symptom of that. That just means you have it too tight. Next time, just do it a little bit lighter. If you have a lid buckle, don't trust the seal. It might be sealed right now, but chances are it's not going to be real tight and it may come unsealed when it's in storage on your shelf. So I would make sure that you put those up front, maybe even just put them in your fridge so that you know to use them up right away. If your lid is on snug, not overly tight, you won't have any issues and your jars will turn out perfect. I hope that was helpful. You guys have a wonderful day and we will see you in the next canning chat. We'll talk to you later.